Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's Victoria Marie, and today we're going to be talking about some tips, some tricks, things I've learned while living alone. I just wish I had a video like this when I was deciding if I wanted to have roommates or live by myself or move out my parents' house. Like, what's it going to be like and what's that experience like? So I'm going to be sharing that with y'all today. Y'all, I filmed this video already and it was just not looking cute. I looked a little ashy and there was not enough editing that could fix my situation. So here we are, full beat this time, not playing any games, ready to give y'all all the tips. So the number one tip for me at least was to get a pet. I didn't realize how much getting a pet or a companion was going to change my experience with living alone. I used to live in Norfolk by myself. That is like 2 to 3 hours down from my hometown. I was going to college out there at Norfolk State. Anyway, so I was living there by myself in a studio apartment. I really didn't have any room to have a pet. And so now that I have this more spacious 1-bedroom apartment and a backyard, I just feel a lot more comfortable. You know, I have Kai, who's my husky. I take care of him. We go on walks in the morning. We have a little routine. He sleeps with me in my bed. I just have a companion. It's taking care of him, gets my mind off things. And it really changed my experience with living alone. So if you like animals, it doesn't have to be as big as a dog or as big a responsibility as having a dog, but maybe a hamster or gerbil, a fish, something that you can have to take care of. When speaking about pets and having a companion, get plants. If you don't really want an animal in your house, get plants. I have a monstera plant and I have like the little palm tree looking ones that kind of just go like this and they keep growing outwards. I love taking care of my plants. I like put coffee grounds aside for them. I give it milk sometimes. Like, I just take care of them. I like to see it get bigger. Really enjoy having a pet, but I'm an animal person, so it might just be me. The next one is, if you know me, you know I'm always having a chatty podcast running in the background. Literally Balanced Black Girl, Morbid, what's it called, Crime Junkie, any sort of podcast running in the background, particularly the ones that aren't true crime, because true crime could give you real bad paranoia, especially if you're a young girl living on your own. I actually do recommend not listening to the true crime podcast. But the chatty girl podcast, where it's two friends going back and forth, it really makes you feel like you're part of the conversation. And it's just far more enjoyable, you know, to fill up your space, your time when you're doing your dishes, if you're listening to a topic that you're actually interested in having. And maybe you don't have your friends over to have that conversation with them, but you could be in on someone else's conversation and have your own opinions with it. So I really enjoy just having a podcast running in the background. It just makes me feel like I'm part of some sort of conversation. I'm not all alone all the time. Balanced Black Girl, shouting her out. I think her name is Les. And it's just healing. I love that podcast so much. Make sure that you feel secure in your home. Make sure one of the first things that you do is get a security system. Set up some sort of security system and security routine to make sure that you feel comfortable going to sleep at night. Because nothing's worse than having a home but it not feeling like a home. It just feels like somewhere where you lay your head down. So I'll show y'all what I have. My dad is the best, and he got me this door stopper / alarm system situation. So obviously it's a door stopper, right? So you just put it by the door. It's going to stop the door from just opening. But also it's an alarm. Prepare yourself.
Fucking terrible sound.
Terrible sound, but it's very effective. Imagine trying to secretly sneak into someone's house and those blaring off. And I have two of them. I have one at my patio door, one at the front door. You're waking me up, you're waking Kai up, you're waking the neighborhood up. Everyone's gonna be like, what you doing trying to bust into someone's house? Make sure you get something that's gonna alert you. So something with an alarm in it. In my last apartment, I actually had a door stick that you would put up against the door. That's cool too, but having something that's also going to wake you up just in case is going to be, you know, a little bit more of a secure feeling. And just to hit on it again, the true crime podcast, if you're anything like me, you gotta let them go. You gotta let them go temporarily until you're very secure into your routine and you're just very comfortable. Because being alone and listening to someone get like chopped up into a million pieces and someone snuck through their window, it might not be that comforting for you. But I get it. I'm obsessed with them too, and I don't even follow that rule. So do what you will. My next big tip, these are all like important to me, but one thing I learned through having multiple apartments is get your decorations and your necessities prior to moving into your apartment. Like, stack up from Ross. Ross has amazing hair products, cleaning utensils, everything. They have everything that you'll need to start off at your home. I recommend getting all that stuff before, because the little things add up. Go to the store, try to buy ketchup, mayonnaise, toilet paper, paper towels, all of that at one time, and see how much your bill is. It's so expensive to just start out, especially with nothing. So I recommend, you know, getting simple things, bed sheets, a bed, before you move out. Try to get a couch, maybe, stuff like that, a TV, because it's really big expenses on top of how expensive rent is right now. It's just important to have all that stuff before you move in. And I say that because as someone who was really cheap moving into a couple of my apartments, I didn't want to pay for anything, it was hard for it to feel like home. I didn't feel comfortable. It just felt like somewhere I was going to sleep at night. I wasn't comfortable in my bed. The room didn't look like me. It was just very plain, nothing on the walls, anything like that. So now when I come here, like, this is my home. My room looks very much like how I want it to. It feels like me. It feels like my sanctuary. And it's important to curate that from the jump so that you don't feel even more isolated and even more uncomfortable in your new situation. Do it if you can. It'll help you be at ease with your finances those first couple of months. Frozen food is your best friend. Frozen food is going to save you a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of wasted food. You're not going to be constantly having to throw out your fresh produce that you weren't able to eat because you bought too much. You didn't buy too much, but maybe that week you were too busy at work and you couldn't even cook as much as you thought you were going to, so now it's all bad. Hate when that happens. So learn to get frozen vegetables, frozen fruit. It's cheaper and it'll last longer for you. Next is going to be learn to be more accommodating for people. Learn how to have a hospitable home where people feel comfortable coming to. That'll help keep you from self-isolating. When you have a place that, you know, your friends feel comfortable coming over, you have enough blankets, pillows, towels, extra stuff, tampons, pads, everything for your friends to come over and just hang out, so that you're not just here by yourself and your friends never come over, or you have to leave your place to see people, because that makes it more of a choice. But when you have friends, when you have a place where someone could stop by and just hang out for a little bit, you see people more often. It becomes more of a social environment for you, which is going to be better for your mental health. I know most people don't want to be the spot like where all of the friends come over. I know I don't want to be that, but you know, you can still be a little accommodating for people. I kind of already touched on this, but I always buy my cleaning products in bulk. I like going to Ollie's, Ross, Costco for like big, large freaking industrial sized cleaning products. I do a lot of my cleaning during the night. Like, I'll randomly decide to start picking up, and I don't want to have to leave my apartment at 12 in the morning if I don't have to. So it's just nice to have everything I need already, and I can just refill the little bottles. And also when it comes to stuff like toilet paper or paper towels, so you don't want to be stuck on the toilet with no toilet paper and there's no one to bring it to you. So I make sure I have toilet paper stacked up. When I'm halfway done with one large thing, I'll go ahead and buy another one just to make sure that I'm good, because that's like, you're stuck and that's nasty. And this one's more of a personal choice. Honestly, I should probably give away my toolkit. The last couple DIY situations I did, they turned out quite bad. But getting a little toolkit and learning how to do stuff yourself so that you don't have a bunch of, you know, maintenance people or handymen coming over that you don't know, a bunch of strange people. I like to at least take care of the little things by myself if I can, not have to constantly call people over. Just random little stuff. If I need to put something together real quick, I have all the tools that I need. And the reason why I say that is there's nothing wrong with having, you know, there's nothing wrong with the maintenance man or having a handy person come over. It's just, when you live alone, it's very obvious that you live alone. There's one of everything. It's very girly, especially in my apartment. It's really girly in here. You could tell that I'm living by myself. So I just take that extra precaution to be a little bit more self-sufficient, because it'll just be a little bit too easy to tell that I'm here by myself, you know? So I could either, if I don't feel too comfortable, I'll invite someone over while the handyman's coming over so that, you know, there's a presence. Make sure that you're making an effort to be more social and hang out with your friends, your family. Get out of the house. It's really easy when you're in the flow of working and going to the gym, or you have other things that you need to do, to just only be by yourself and get things done. But make sure that you have a schedule that's set enough that, you know, you have time to go out with your friends on the weekend, go out to coffee, do stuff like that, so that you're not self-isolating, because it can get really lonely really quickly. And it was a very niche and specific tip, but if you're forgetful like me, if you're someone who is constantly just like scatterbrained, I lose my keys and I lose my keys very easily. So I make sure that my dad, my mom, my friends have keys, spare keys. I actually need to give them because I have found myself in situations where I'm like, I really wish I gave you a key. But make sure that the people that are closest to you have your spare keys, because you're going to lock yourself out, and you just don't want to be caught having to wait for the front desk to open or anything like that, the leasing office. So give your peoples the spare keys, and I promise you it'll be well worth it. The last thing I'm going to do is just go over the good and the bad about living alone, and this is just going to be my honest opinion. So first we'll start off with the bad. There's not much bad about living alone. Only thing is, it can get lonely at times. You're just like, damn, I have no one to hang out with. It's been 2-3 days since I've stepped outside. And that could really suck, and it could really put you in a downward spiral if you let it. But that's why prioritizing your routine is very important. But just being completely honest and transparent, living alone can be very lonely at times. But as someone who likes to be by themselves, it's not too bad for me. So it really just depends on your personality. And it's also expensive. Living by yourself is expensive, and it's honestly not an option for a lot of people. Some people have to have roommates, and it sucks, but it's freaking costs a lot. And all the responsibility is on you. There's no leaving the dishes in the sink and maybe someone else will wash them, or anything like that. Everything that you do, you have to clean up eventually. It all comes back full circle. But that also can be a pro as well, because if I leave something somewhere, or if I have food in the fridge that I've been dying for, I know when I get back home it's still going to be in there. There's no one else to take it. But those are really the only bad parts. Sometimes I feel unsafe and I feel like someone's watching me. Like, I just have to be very careful and on my P's and Q's being a woman that's living alone, because I have to make sure they know I'm on my P's and Q's. I'm not playing. I could just do whatever I want, sleep on the couch, not sleep on the couch, lay on the ground if I want to. I used to be embarrassed to put on a workout video, like a HIIT workout video or a Zumba video, and now I don't care. I'll do it. I'll just do whatever I want to do. I could pull up my camera and just start vlogging, not have that awkwardness with their family being around. So all of that has been a pretty amazing change for me. I definitely feel like I've grown into myself more living by myself. I just am growing up, and I think everybody, if possible, while in your 20s, should live by yourself at least for a year or two, just so you can have that time to really be by yourself and learn yourself. If you know that you're someone that likes to be around people all the time, there's no reason to rush into living alone. Living with a roommate, there's really nothing wrong with that. I do hope that these tips, these tricks really helped you guys, gain you some perspective, or maybe even if you already live by yourself, just gave you somebody that's going through the same thing as you, validated some of your feelings. And other than that, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.